Welcome to the podcast. You've got me, Jack, with Cola and Walker.
Hi, everyone.
Fun fact: did you know? Guess what? Guess what, guys? Who is the largest tire manufacturer in the world?
I want to say Continental.
Not Continental, not Michelin. It's Lego. Lego is the largest tire manufacturer in the world.
Wait a minute.
Like the toy Lego?
Tires.
Like car tires?
Yes, like the
toy tires
in general. Like how much tires in general. Lego is the largest tire manufacturer in the world. They use the most rubber for tires out of all those other companies for their toys.
Wait, for Lego toys?
Yeah, for Lego toys.
What?
Dang. What's their mainline brand?
I mean, it's for all their toys, what they're using it for, like their toy cars and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. So that's their cheater route with that. Like,
I mean, they use more
we sell the most
material, more tire material than the other guys. Which, you can see how that happens with all the
is it
toys they sell.
Is it recycled from the other guys?
I don't know. It's just a fact that I saw in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Nice.
Cool.
Well, that is fun.
They make more than Goodyear, Michelin, and all those guys.
Combined?
Not combined. I don't know. They just say more than those companies.
Yeah.
All right. You guys got anything? Cool.
I have a fun fact. A pack of ferret, it's called business.
Oh.
Okay. Is that true?
A pack of ferrets.
Yeah, a pack of ferrets is called business.
No, a pack of crows is what, a burger?
Yeah. Who comes up with these names for groups of animals?
I have no idea. It sounds like some old dude at a park that just had too much time on his hands and was like partially senile.
I don't know. The business is after me. A business of ferrets.
Yeah. Let's see.
What
that is also fun. Let's see. Are you ready for my fun fact?
Yeah, go ahead.
My fun fact is that it's discovered that with aquatic life, fish actually have voices. They actually make noises just like whales do. So scientists have used underwater audio equipment to capture the noises that different kinds of aquatic life makes. And surprisingly, they found that fish do in fact talk to each other inside of the ocean.
I think that makes sense, though.
So do they have ears then?
You think about it. Like when we speak or make sounds, it's sound waves that are coming out. They make those same waves in the ocean. I don't know if they really hear it. They probably feel it, like echolocation or something. So it's like they make little.
You're swimming around. They're like, ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
Like they're swimming around and like nutting at the same time. Oh, oh. It was pretty funny when they put those recordings up because it was actual like fish voices.
So a school of fish be talking to each other about random shit.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, speaking of fish talking to each other, that brings us to our next topic. What are the strongest memories you have with your group of friends of fish?
I can go first. So for me, the strongest memories that I have with my group of friends is traveling Um, for example, I think a while ago, went on a trip with Walker and a group of friends to Japan, and that was pretty memorable because it's one of the few times that we've all been around each other for quite a long time together and got to the chance to explore someplace. Well, Walker, you've already been there, but someplace new and different that most of us haven't been before. So that'll stick in my head for a long time.
Cool. What about it really stuck in your head though?
Just basically the time that we went. We went during pretty significant time. It's during the cherry blossom season. So it's not only like a new place, but it's at a time where it won't look like that. It'll only look like that once a year, where you see all these cherry blossoms bloom and everything's like all pink and a lot of people are out celebrating that. So good times, good people, and fun experience in a new place.
Cool. I got one to add here. It actually involves Jack.
Oh.
I remember one time in high school, like Jack had his driver's license, and I didn't. So usually when we ended up going out, it would always be Jack driving. And I remember when we went to this one plaza, it was a police shootout with all these.
There was
a police shootout, and like there was all these police officers that were just like gathered, guns pointing at this one individual, and Jack was driving us. I was not paying attention to the road at this time. But Jack was driving us. Jack was driving us like to the opposite side of the police officers, where all the guns were pointed at the criminal. And then the only thing I hear was like, "Whoa!" I pick my head up. I look out the window, and I just see like 6 or 7 guns pointed at us, and I start freaking out and panicking. I was like, "Oh God!" And I was just telling him like, "Just go! Like, what the fuck is happening?"
So just to paint a picture, I think I was driving. We were in a parking lot, so I was going slow, and we are trying to go through the parking lot, and I didn't realize it until I turned around, and then I saw all these police officers. They were aiming guns towards us, but it wasn't at us. It was towards another car that was in between the police and us. I think it was the suspect who's in the car. And what I remember from that time is that the suspect was just looking down and had his hands on the wheel, but he wasn't doing anything at the time. But the police officers just had their guns drawn, pointing at the car, and we were obviously going to be in the crossfire because we were if you were to draw a straight line, it would be the police car, the suspect, and then us. But we were driving perpendicular from that, so we were only I was only seeing it from my left side, so that was how it looked. And then Tom was like, "Oh,
did you drive off?"
Yeah, I drove off after like realizing, oh shit, what was
So yeah, that was one of those. That's one of those memories that will stick with me for the rest of my life, kind of thing. Where it's just like I was never as caught off guard as one of those moments. So it was pretty interesting because, I think at that point, well, not at that point, but maybe not too long after that, I was wondering if like a friendship with Jack would be the smartest thing for me. if that's how it was going to turn out. But it was just like, that was just my high school brain thinking. But that was that was a terribly hilarious circumstance that happened, and it's not exactly one that I regret having. It's just really funny to me that that actually did happen, and it's really stuck out in my mind.
Yet all these memories, the only thing you could think of is getting surprised by the police, like having your gun pointed towards in your direction.
Yeah, I mean, but like that's the thing that invokes the strongest memories. It's usually the negative stuff, unfortunately, but or the more yeah, they usually tend to be the more memorable things. But it's just not. I guess although it was negative at the time, if you're able to come back and laugh at it, then it's just like it's easier for you to spin it into a positive experience.
Yeah, definitely see that.
Yeah. What do you got for us, Cole?
Um, I think my most memorable time with my friend, I think it was probably when I was still young. I was like maybe in my early 20s, maybe 22, 23. And I remember my friend covering the bill for the meal. And at that time, I wasn't used to like having somebody cover the bill. It was just like we always split the bill, right? We're so used to it. But then they covered the bill. I was like, oh shit. That was the most I think that was the most shocking for me. Like, oh shit, you covered my bill. But like now, like as an adult, it's like it's almost like kind of trying to pay it forward. Well, every time you get in that situation with getting meals with friends and stuff like that, with that, and like, I think it's always a good gesture, right? Just to pay for the meal if you can when you can. So
Wow, Cola. I wish
that
that
kind
would
of stuck
apply to
out.
us from time to time.
Tommy, Walker, don't I pay for the meals?
That's funny.
Obviously not.
No, it's a half and half between Cole and I, generally. But it's just um, it's it's just okay. Continue, Cole. Continue.
Why?
No, I mean nothing's meant by it, dude. It's just like it's interesting to me how this is a story for coming. It's interesting to me to hear this story because no like personally wanting to know what sticks out to you.
Yeah, that I think that stuck out with me the most because I don't think anybody has ever like paid for my meals like that. So that stuck out to me. So it was the first time. So it's not like, it's like it's the first time like when you go out to get dinner with friends and stuff like that. It's like I think even before that, that never happened, right? So yeah. That stuck out to me.
Interesting, interesting. But have you ever had like has that never applied in terms of friends or like are there different circumstances or different people I should say?
No, I mean at certain times like different people have to come in, but like but I think that the first time like it stuck with me. So um but yeah. But generally like just hanging out with other families and friends and stuff like that. Uh, but I always extend it for people. So yeah, if I meet the person new time and I enjoy their time, then yeah, then I'll cover. But hopefully they return the favor. Yeah.
How do you feel about that policy now?
Um in general, like I still do it if it's like first time meeting people and do it, but then afterwards I don't do it. So uh just because I don't want to make people feel like, oh, like, let's invite Charlie because he will pay. And I kind of like like don't do it anymore. So yeah. Yeah.
Good stuff.
I feel like that is more applicable nowadays because like path of least resistance kind of takes precedence more and more now,
Yeah, and then
where it's just like, huh?
yeah. No, go ahead.
Yeah, where it's just like, well, if I don't say anything and they pay, that means that I'm off the hook type of mentality. And that's not something I generally practiced with people because it was just like when it came to closer friends, it was just that unspoken rule where it's just like you should not feel like you should, even if one person offers and they pay for it, and then there's times when they pay for a second one, you better start picking up the tab at some point. Like you better understand that it's not, the friendship is not one way,
Yeah.
because like you can't act as though like just because they take it and they're assuming responsibility over your time together in that way doesn't mean that you are suddenly entitled to just have that luxury available to you, whereas like the other person will always pay for you. Like you need to actually like step up and own up to it at some point. But I usually give it 2 strikes before it's just like, okay, like either you pick up the tab or there's gonna be some awkward conversations following.
Yeah. Trying to split the bills is something that could be contentious. I remember growing up, I had coworkers I used to work with, like a college job at an amusement park. Sometimes if we'd go out to eat after work, that would be like, okay, we got to figure out how to split this the right way. Because at that point, you don't have a lot of money. You just have to make sure that you pay your fair share. Nowadays, I think we make enough where it's kind of like a blip, or it's not too big of a deal to pay, you know, for dinner for two people at least, not like a whole party.
I mean, the surprising thing to me is always just like there are some grown ass people who just won't do it, like no matter what.
That's why you don't invite them.
Yeah, I mean, again, you get 2 strikes. It's just like you best start explaining yourself at that point. But it's like, um, yeah, it's just like, okay, so have you guys ever gotten angry or called that one person out?
I would say so. I'm like, I think at that point I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna invite this person over and stuff like that. So sometimes you
Well, I
just
mean, in terms of confronting them.
no. It's I think not my thing is not to confront them. It's like, I definitely like this, but if this is done, like I like for me, like I'm just like I just avoid a person as much as possible. So yeah. I think
think
my
it,
thing, yeah, just avoid the person as much as possible. It's like why would you like start showing them that you're angry about it and stuff like that? It's
I don't
like
feel like
why
there's
would
anything wrong with that.
yeah, but like why would you want to continue a friendship with this person that does this shit, right?
Oh yeah, but it's also just like I think part of it to me is like that's how you can sort of leave it open to interpretation, to not exactly say you're not friends with the person anymore. It's just like, it gives them the possibility of coming back and not without improving themselves, if they're not called out, you know. So that's sort of where I feel that it's okay to like just be vocal about how you feel about something, but there's a way to do it where you can be respectful about it and then show that you intend to hope for the best result, but you're not going to force the issue. And then sort of just like, yeah, if you're going to be like this, I can't do this with you, type of thing. Because like I would not want to think you to be a gold digger or anything, but if you're going to act in a manner that resembles that, then no. What about you?
I mean, it depends on the friend or the person. If it's a small meal or a cup of coffee, I wouldn't mind paying it once. But then if they are like second time they expect to pay, I'll keep that in mind and just maybe split bills or something like that.
So there's another memory that I had that sort of stuck out to me, in particular, where it was also high school, actually. Yeah. This was pretty much when I had been walking home from school, and high school is always such a really weird, confusing time where you know personalities and emotions suffer from being on opposite extremes, where it's like people can just be a dick for like no apparent reason other than just to be a dick, and then you have others that are just like they're like super nice people. But it's just it always felt like there was hardly a middle ground for me. But anyways, it's basically had to do with me walking home from school one day, and I was walking home with one of my buddies at the time. This is pretty much when I was really experiencing walking home by myself for the first time. So when that was happening, like I realized that, well, not realized, but we encountered a situation where some people wanted to jump my buddy, and it was just like I wasn't walking like 100% next to him, but like I was like literally like a step behind him because there was a overpass by our high school that like you have to cross through to kind of get to our home. So at that overpass, you just saw like a couple of dudes just standing at the bottom, and then they started trying to talk hella shit to my friend, and then next thing you know, like they're basically pushing him around and just saying like, or just trying to like instigate him and say like, give me some money and whatever. And um, next thing you know, they take a swing at my friend, just like sock him in the face, and he was just like, "Yo, I don't got anything for you." And then like, um, and it was kind of at that moment where like they were about to fight him until I walked up to one of the guys, tapped him on the shoulder, and said, "He's done. We're done here." And then the guy looked at me and he was just like, "You're lucky you got backup," and then just walked off. But it was kind of at that it was kind of at that time when I realized that I had a really bad like RBF. Yeah. So it was just like I look like I wanted to fight everyone type of thing. So it was just like and realizing that it comes off as a little intimidating to a lot of people, given the right circumstance. Um, but it was one that stuck with me because it was just like I kind of had that sort of demeanor or that aura about me that could change an outcome in a certain way or in a completely different way. So it was like, it was kind of, I wouldn't say an ego boost, but it's like, yeah, I can scare some people if I wanted to. Any of you had those moments or anything of the opposite?
I think one of them was when I think my friend was getting his bike jacked. At the time I met him at the library and I didn't like he almost got jacked for his bike. Like I met him at the library and I was like, I saw something going on. And then I just stepped up to the plate, and just grabbed the bike and just like swung it at the guy and stuff like that. And then the librarian came out. Right. The librarian came out, kicked him out and thing. And then we stayed there for like 2 hours before we left and stuff, just in case something might have happened. But yeah, but it was bad. I mean, they punched the guy and stuff like that before, but like they were about to run off with the bike and they just grabbed the bike and just swung it around. And then we like stayed at the library and then the librarian came and just stopped the whole thing. But it was crazy. So yeah. It was crazy. But that's like that was like in middle school. So yeah. So that guy now is like a Vietnamese gangster.
Oh shit!
I'll never get bullied again.
So now he's like I mean, like I think in high school he was like a Vietnamese gangster and stuff. Because I didn't, I don't know, because we saw in high school and I didn't. Some high school was like, "Do I know you from somewhere?" And then he's like, "Yeah, it's me, Lon." I'm like, "Oh my god!" So that was the crazy part.
It just reminds me of that. It just reminds me of this old meme where there was this bully that was just like, "Give me your lunch money," and then the kids all crying. It's like, when we're older, this is gonna be it's gonna be different, Chad. Like, so and then it's like it cuts to like 30 years later, and then the guy's like, "Give me your lunch money," and he's like working at McDonald's, and the guy's like, "Fuck you, Chad." And he's still like he's crying and paying him money for the McDonald's.
Yeah, it's like one of those when the times when like bullies realize that something's off with them and they become the nicest people, like out of high school and then church. I mean, not church, but college and stuff like that. So yeah, that's crazy. It's like that movie with The Rock, Central Intelligence.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was it? Golden Jet.
What?
Kevin Hart's character was like he was Golden Jet or whatever, because
I think so.
the story behind him was like he peed his pants or something.
Whoa, what?
Huh?
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah. Like Kevin Hart's character in that movie, like he was nicknamed Golden Jet, which was supposed to be like a prestigious sounding name, but he was telling the origin of that nickname. He was just like, actually, it was just like I pissed my pants or something like that, and that's why they called me Golden Jet.
Damn.
But he's like the coolest guy on campus.
I think you need to watch that movie again and go.
I
Are
haven't
you?
seen
But,
Okay.
yeah.
I know what you're all talking about. Golden Jet. It just sounds funny.
It's a very buddy comedy that is it very much would articulate the relationship that The Rock and Kevin Hart play on camera all the time, like during interviews and stuff.
Oh, so it's basically Kevin. It's
You stop it? Oh,
Go ahead.
Kevin Hart, Rock, epitomized, or
yeah, pretty much. So like if you've seen their interviews together, it's like it's that in an hour and a half or 2 hour long movie.
Did you see the interview where Kevin Hart pretended to be The Rock?
Yeah.
That's the funniest thing ever. It's
Did
exactly
you-
like.
Hmm?
It's exactly like it.
Hmm.
Exactly. It's Kevin Hart sounded exactly like The Rock.
I just remember the video where he slapped The Rock with a tortilla. And he was like, that shit hella stings. But like that was a loud slap. Oh, did you guys ever see that video where there's an extreme slapping competition or something like that?
Yeah,
And some dude's face is like swollen halfway out. So
that's
like
it's actually pretty dangerous because it's
They should have stopped it.
straight up
you're destroying all the capillaries in your face, dude. Like
concussion yourself. I mean, you're not padded. It's a straight slap where you're not, the other person's not doing it, not defending. They're just taking it full on. So it's like, ooh.
yeah, but like you see the slap so hard that the capillaries are like exploding from that guy's face and he's just like bleeding.
Yeah.
It's like Jesus.
I would not want to try out that sport. I don't want to
Nah.
get a concussion or get brain damage from getting slapped that hard.
I mean, like, it's just. Here's the thing. I just have a very very strong theory, and it's someone who knows better of it will most likely, like, either correct me, or just confirm, and just call me stupid for it. But, you know, hitting a man, slapping a man anywhere on the face, like at a certain like magnitude, like is enough to make him cry. Because there's so many sensitive nerves on your face that it's probably gonna cause like the muscles around your eyes to like tingle and burn, and then you'll start tearing up.
It
You guys
sounds
feel
like
like
a
I'm right
punishment.
there?
Punishment less than a punch. So you're saying you'll rather take a punch than a slap.
I think a punch would have less of an emotional slash physiological like damaging effect. Because I don't know, like I remember when I got smacked as a kid. Like you aim for my face, then it's just like it's immediately like 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 you kind of feel it because everything is like tingling and burning and stinging, you know. But it's just like if you get punched, it's just a localized area. Gets it gets like it gets bruised. It hurts, but you're not exactly crying about it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree.
So it's just. So if you're ever gonna get in a fight, slap the man first to make it look like you won. If he starts crying, meanwhile he's just beating the shit out of you. Otherwise, but yeah. Anyways, looks like we're coming to the end of our podcast. So we will catch you guys next time. All right.